Good evening and welcome to our Tuesday Night Live. We're so glad you're here. This live will begin shortly, and we're excited to share this journey with you. This is a space of kindness and encouragement, so let's be welcoming to everyone looking to better themselves. If you have questions, drop them in the chat or use the super chat to make sure it gets addressed. Thank you for being a part of our community. Let's make Oops! I messed up, everybody. Let's try that again. Good morning and welcome to Sunday Morning Coffee with KetoSimple. This stream will be starting soon, so grab your coffee, get comfortable, and settle in. We're building a strong and supportive community, so say hello in the chat, ask questions, and feel free to use super chats. Thank you for being here and being a part of this journey. Let's keep it positive and respectful as we connect and grow together. I can't wait to get started. There we go. That's the right intro. Oh my goodness. I can't believe I did that. What a faux pas, trying to put you on Tuesday for what Sunday's going to bring. Anyway, thank you so very much for being here. My name is Dustin. Happy Sunday. I've got coffee. How about you? I've missed you. It's been a long week, everybody. How have you been? Looks like some of you are already here. Fantastic. I'm so glad to see Evelyn. Good morning, Evelyn. And Becky is here, and United Carnivore is here. Rick is here with his quacky self. Cindy, good morning, Cindy. Carnivore K, good morning, K. I appreciate you very much for being here. John Guga Head is in the house. John has folded his laundry and is about to make a second cup of coffee. This is my first cup of coffee, first sip of coffee for you. Just for you and for me because I love coffee. So good. We've got flurries in good old Indiana today. Ugh. Hopefully it remains flurries so I don't have to worry about shoveling the driveway. Oh my goodness. Jeff Fafa is here. Good morning, Mr. Foltz. I am so glad you are here. John's talking about storms in Ocala, Florida. But at least it's not snow. You know? Jeff Fafa. Rockin' Keto Amy's in the house. Everybody take a minute, and I want to celebrate Amy's growth. She has been putting a lot of work in, and she's been sending me stuff, and I've been seeing her thumbnails. Her thumbnails are getting amazing, and I just want to say that's awesome. Trying to get better. That's what I've been trying to do. Yesterday was my 5-year anniversary on YouTube. The first year really was only one video. So really, 4 years of consistent YouTubing. But I just want to say how impressed I am with what Amy's doing. And a lot of you are doing out there. I know Andy's really busting ass trying to get her channel to go the way she wants it to. And Cindy's doing amazing things. And such a great community that we have. And I just want to make sure that we're not forgetting to recognize the good things. John says, I forgot to say good morning to the star of the show. Good morning, Dustin. I just assume when you say good morning, you're talking to me. That's just, the me and me, right? Andy's here. Good morning. Yep, I messed up. Yes. Time traveler Karen. Thank you, Karen, for being here. Connecticut here. Fantastic. Well, Connecticut is a place that I have never been. Of course, I've never been to New York or anything like that either, but, Cindy's saying hello to a bunch of people. Andy says, "Yes, you did. We wanted to. We wanted to see the masterpiece that you worked so hard for." Yes, and I'm willing to help any of you creators out there make cool intros for your lives. Just reach out. We can work something out. It allows me to maybe make a little bit of extra money, get better, and you get a cool little intro. It works out both ways. Ugh, -13. Gross, Jerry. That's gross. Susan is sick. I'm sorry, Susan. I hope you feel better, dear. I don't know what you do when you're sick. I know I just like to sleep it off, and I like to just feel crappy, I guess. I don't know. But you know what I mean. You just like to kind of wallow in it a little bit, just kind of just enjoy it a little. I don't know. That sounds weird, but I don't know how else to put it. Becky's here. Oh yeah, I wish I was still in bed. I mean, if I could do this from my bed, I would, but it would just be not looking as good. You know what I'm saying? Good morning, Becky. Sean Bradley. Good morning, Mr. Bradley. We're back from our trip. I hope you had a magical time. And while you were at Disney, I know you got a chance to do a meetup with Matt and Sarah. Did you see Matt at his hotel or whatever? I can't remember which. I think he's at the. I always think he's at the boardwalk, but I don't think that's where he is. Maybe that's where you were staying. Was the boardwalk? Yeah. People saying hello to each other. Oh, morning, Sean. Don't get too cold. We miss the Florida sun. Hot and homad here today in Rick's little place. Homad, hello, haha, yeah. Cindy, flurries here, expected 2 to 4 inches today. Ugh. You're so very welcome. Rick, 17 years on YouTube. Fantastic. Congratulations. Let's go. Is everyone ready for the deep freeze? I love this community. So excited. Today is Shell's 5-year ketoversary. Fantastic. Thank you so much, Sean, for telling us that. Thank you for letting us know. Shell, if you can hear me, congratulations. Happy ketoversary, dear. Evelyn says, good morning to Sean and Michelle. Connecticut has the best casinos. I've seen more casinos near Indiana than I even knew we had doing the job that I have. So I basically pick up engineers and conductors from the rail yard. I pick them up from trains, or I take them to hotels, or I pick them up at the yard and drive them to a train, or whatever the case is, right? And I'm driving. There's a new casino like in Terre Haute, Indiana. There's one off of 74, I think, and like just inside of Illinois. I don't know. There's so many more casinos than I ever thought that were ever near Indiana. And hopefully they've got some poker rooms, because I like to play poker, ladies and gentlemen. Twin Brook Acres is in the house. Good morning. Evelyn, were you bad and Dustin took a letter away from you? What's happening? Yeah, Dustin, I made Amy's intro. It's a very short, quick intro. You can have one like that or a long one like I make. Just let me know what you're looking for and we can work out something. People saying hello. Chill Will Crew is in the house. Good morning. Hello there in chat. Fantastic to see you here this morning. So glad. Let's see. Andy says Susan sits in her chair and has been watching Bridgerton. I edited and stayed away so I don't get sick again. Bridgerton is so good. When we first started watching it, the initial first season when it first came out, everybody was talking about it. I'm like, I mean, it's kind of slow, but then you're like, wait, And then like you hear like the contemporary music and like they're like the classical renditions of the contemporary music, and then like I don't know, will they, won't they, and all that stuff. And then like the Queen series was good. Pretty stoked. It was actually really, really good. We actually stayed at the Beach Club Villas. He was the first one to greet us when we got on Disney property. That's so awesome. The only deep freeze here is in my kitchen. Well, I'm glad you're not freezing stuff with engine blocks too, there, Rick. Oh, yeah, for real. Shock to the system, shock to the heart. Yes, happy ketoversary, Michelle. Andy says, after triple B&E is over, I'm going carnivore with a splash of keto chow. All right. Chill Will Crew says, here in Chicago, it will be in the negatives Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. That lake effect cold. Ooh, I haven't been to Chicago in a while. I know we've driven around and through Chicago a few times in the last couple of times. Trying to think, the last time I was in Chicago for anything had to be. Let's see. I know I was at the Metro in October of 23. I went to see Botch at the Metro, but I can't think of. I think that was the last time I was in Chicago proper. Was to go to the Metro and see Botch. Most of my friends that I had that live in Chicago are traveling or they've moved outside of the city. I think I do have my buddy Ryan and his girl Amanda. They live in Chicago, and I haven't seen them in a while. Connecticut has the largest standalone casino. I've heard of Foxwoods because I know there's like there's uh poker tournaments and things that happen there that they show on TV. On TV. Let's see. Twin Brooks talking about we stayed at Fort Wilderness Campgrounds with an RV last time we went to Disney World. I want to go back. I want to go to Disney World so bad. Last time we were in Disney was in October of 23. I went to see Botch. It was like KPL, Botch, and then we had a meetup, and then I was off to Disney World. It was a very busy, busy month. It showed Evelyn's name as Velen. Velen. She's a Velen for some reason on my phone. Velen. Intro makes no difference if your computer will not run OBS. I don't run OBS. I'm running StreamYard right now. I am in the process of probably switching everything over to EV Mux. It's another browser streaming, so you don't have to have the computer power to run OBS. That's one thing that I worry about. I have a decent computer, but I just don't want it to bog down doing long streams and then mess up on me. So I'm going to try EV Mux. It looks to be highly customizable. I can put things and assets and have backgrounds and intros and outros just like StreamYard, but I'm paying like half the price. So we'll see how that goes. Time to open the door and let the claws and teeth in. Oh my goodness. Evelyn's asking where Chill Will Crew is in Chicago. That's where she was born and raised. I'd like to go to Fort Wilderness, but I don't want to stay in like a campground. I know they have like the new cabins there. That would be kind of cool. But it's far from everything. That's interesting. I didn't see it. I was so confused. I was confused too. I'm like, what's happening? So near Hyde Park. Like I had a friend that had an apartment right on Belmont and Sheffield, right across, like basically like her apartment. You look down and you see the Vic Theater, and we always had trouble parking because there was always tour buses parked out there. But then like Clark's was up the road, and then we weren't all that far from Wrigleyville and all that stuff. So It wasn't bad then. Like she moved out, and then they turned it into condos, and there was like an empty park. There was like an empty parking lot next door. They built a parking garage there. Last time I was at the Vic, you had to park in that parking garage. Yeah. Let's see. We just got a casino in South Bend. I love the buffet. I could even eat the sugar-free desserts as a cheat without really getting totally inflamed. They must be gluten-free. I've wanted to go to that new South Bend, but I haven't had an opportunity to go to even the casino that's like 20 it's about 45 minutes from my house. We have Indiana Grand or something like that. They finally just switched over. It was all electronic. So even the poker rooms were electronic. So you sit at a table, there was like a TV in the middle, then everybody had their own little touch screen in front of them. And I didn't like that. I felt like no matter how well the algorithm was, it wasn't the same as live cards. Now they've legalized live cards and chips and all that stuff. So they do have a new poker room open with live dealers and all that. So that's something that I want to go do. And he said she was watching Kelly Hogan this morning talking about lymphatic massage and drainage. Very interesting. I have a vibration plate that I use more now than I ever did before. So I watch sometimes I'll put on this chiropractor. Her name is Dr. Mondragon, and she does lymphatic massage to some of her people. As she'll massage before, and then she'll adjust, and then she'll do it again. And I don't necessarily know like if chiropractics is good for us, if it's a scam. I just know sometimes I need my neck popped and I can't do it myself. But it's like I need to find the happy medium between somebody who will take care of me and not overcharge me and actually handle my issues and not just do whatever they want to do. I mean, it's just I did have a chiropractor that I was going to see for a very brief time, and they didn't do very well for me. They just built the Caesars Casino in Danville, Virginia. We haven't been there yet, but heard it's huge. Yeah. Yeah, Rockin' Keto Amy uses OBS. Chilling like a vanilla villain. Yeah, right. And he says, I have OBS for gaming, but my streaming, I use EVMux at Dustin's recommendation. I'm happy with it, and the price is reasonable. Yeah, I'm going to go in and I need to get that set up, but I got to go in and I'm using StreamYard right now, so this is recording, and I'll have to go in and get this and everything else off, and then backed up on my dual drives that I back all my content up on, and then move all the assets over and rebuild it and make it look how I want. And I'll probably have to do that after probably have to do that in February, because this Tuesday Shannon and I will be live, and then Sunday, I will be live in the morning like normal. And then Sunday evening, it will be me, Chris, and Victor with the Keto Crusade. And then Tuesday, I will not be live with Chandra. I will be in Dixon, Tennessee. I don't believe I'll be live. I don't know what Chris and Ash and I will do. We're still kind of in the process of kind of working out the details of what everything we're going to do while we're there. But yeah, so be on the lookout for some cool stuff coming towards the end of January. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. Lymphatic massage definitely will get a person off a stall. I'm 100% worse witness of that working. How does it feel? I don't gamble except for what I eat, says Rick. I'm not much of a gambler. Like I don't buy lottery tickets. I mean, if when the Hoosier when the big jackpots get to be like $1 billion, I'll throw a 20 at some and get just a couple of tickets. Because I mean, if that's a lot of money, the chances of you winning are almost about as close to zero as you can be without being zero. But I mean, you never know. You might hit that and have $1 billion, and then I could really do some good with $1 billion. You know what I mean? Buy a couple new cameras. You know what I mean? Do some good for this community. Do some cool stuff. I had $1 billion, I would put up. I would do probably. I don't even know what I would do. I would do an awesome like thing every year. It'd be awesome. I don't even know where I would do it. I wouldn't even have to do it here. I can do wherever I wanted. I'd have the money to do what I want, where I want, and make it to how everybody wants to. Everybody would want to come and make it as big as I can make it to where everybody can come and enjoy it and make it. I don't even know. I'm just talking out of my rear right now, but you get the idea. Sean sent Evelyn a pic so she can see it. I don't know. It's still dark, I think, but not that dark. Let's see. Jeff Fafa is not a gambler. I just like playing cards. I like playing cards, and it's some of the coolest things I've heard. Cool conversations, been involved in cool conversations playing cards. Military veterans, people from other countries. Depending on where you're playing, I've played in Vegas, and you never know who you're going to sit down with. Just never know. Could be a lot of. I mean, it's just get to meet cool people, have cool conversations. That's what I love about playing cards, and I just really enjoy playing cards. But I don't necessarily consider that gambling, and I know that it is, but I don't really play the slot machines too much. Sometimes I'll throw a 20 in, but I mean, it's not quite that. Yeah, so Andy says that's very interesting, Jerry. I need to be more consistent. Let's see. Our coaching is only 50 a month. Might have to decide whether or not to join in February. Amy says the chiropractor actually exacerbated my hip issue. It wasn't their fault because a chiropractor can't do anything for labral tears. I needed surgery and physical therapy. Highly recommended PT. Brian Doyle's in the house. Slept in. Good morning. Well, thank you for being here. Rick says friendly first. Now the biting starts. Ugh. Oh my goodness. That's funny. Amy said that Brian Doyle just wanted to make an entrance. Andy says, I know I have to go to the restroom after I get off my plate. It moves everything south. Whoa. Good morning, guinea pig. Good morning. Let's see. Nice to know so many Chicago Chi-Town natives. I mean, a city like Chicago can't necessarily stay stagnant, and I think Cabrini Green being gone is probably a bonus. That was just like I don't even know like how to even say it. Like there was a documentary that I watched about the first installment of something like Cabrini Green in St. Louis. It was called the Pruitt Igo Project, and it was fascinating to watch that and to kind of see what Cabrini Green turned into. But I mean, like Magnificent Mile, industrial areas. I mean, cities change, things change, industry changes, and I mean, nothing stays stagnant. Sean sent me a picture. Let me take a look at that here. Let's see. Sure enough, Velen. That's funny. That's pretty funny. I like it. Oh my goodness. I just want to go and get worked over. I need like I'm always stiff and just my neck is pretty free right now, but sometimes I get to where I can barely even move it. Everyone's saying hi to Brian, the guinea pig, Mr. Dale over there. That is Cindy's better half. But yeah. So yeah, I need some of this coffee. Oh. So we are caught up with the chat. Y'all are being a little slow today, and that's okay. That's okay. But we wanted to talk about embracing our struggles, things that I've had my own share of struggles this week. You know, uh, food struggles, just feeling. I mean, I know it's part of us because it's cold, it's dreary, but I just haven't felt like doing anything. Like I just want to get things done for YouTube, but I feel like I just kind of slack on that. And I'm so glad that all of you are here to support me and to keep me motivated. But even some of that doesn't seem to be enough to drive me to put out the content that I have to do, I guess, Let's see. Sean had a physical therapist at work, so dry needling, and it was amazing. Oh my goodness. Amy's putting on makeup for church. Cindy says, caught up with the chat. That's a first. Well, I mean, I catch up with this chat quite a bit. I was listening to the Horde Friday and how far behind they were, and I'm like, at least I'm never that far behind. They're like a half hour, 45 minutes behind on the chat, so at least I'm never that bad. But and I'm like, because like for me, I'm like, I start to get panicky. They're all relaxed and just hanging out, and that's the norm for them. But like, I start to get like, I'm like, there's so much chat I haven't got to yet, and I try to keep it to where it's relevant. Everything tastes better out of my Buc-ee's cup. 22 watching, only 12 thumbs. Hit that thumbs up. I appreciate you so very much. Money is the only real struggle. The rest is self-control. Oh, I mean, the price of eggs are going through the roof. I mean, I was at Aldi the other day, and I want to say that they were like $4 and something a dozen at Aldi. And I remember them being like 49 cents a dozen. So they've gone up like from 49 cents to $4 and something. Like, that's crazy. And that's not even in like, that's been within like 5 years. Amy says, I put on 6 pounds. I think all the new ice cream is stalling me. I need to do PSMF 2 days this week. Yeah, I don't know. I think I look at the ice cream. If you make it with butter and then like it's just so low carb, but I mean the calorie probably is pretty dense, so I get it. Play around with it. See what happens. Always behind over there for sure. I'm sure we'll see Heath pop in here sooner or later. Cindy says, same on our Wednesday and Friday lives. It's tried hard to keep up. Yeah. Rick says $4.59 a dozen at Aldi. That's just insane. Evelyn says, I did my first PSMF, and if you are not aware, that is protein sparing modified fast. Not all of you who may be watching, maybe not commenting, may not know what that is, but that's a protein sparing modified fast. Yesterday, since the start of school year, getting back into good habits. Well, that's good. Andy's got $2.50 a dozen still in her country store. Well, that's fantastic. And Jerry says $2 a dozen are from the farmer at that she works with. I would love to find some, but I just keep seeing like signs where they're crazy expensive. Jeremiah, a good friend of mine, sent me a message on Facebook Messenger the other day about a Facebook post where they were like $7 for 30 farm fresh eggs, and they were selling all these things at ridiculously low prices, and they were like, just pay us and we'll deliver right to you. And I'm like, scam. I was like, if it's too good to be true, it is. They're selling $14 for 5 dozen eggs. And that means that they're undercutting Walmart at farm fresh eggs. And I mean, that's because Walmart right now for 5 dozen eggs is $22 as of like Thursday or Wednesday when I was there. So yeah. Rick, hush. Ice cream's delicious. John Guggenheim says, I was at Save A Lot yesterday and the regular cage-free eggs were $6.19. I don't even care at this point if they're cage-free or what. I need eggs that are affordable. That's crazy. Sean says, we stopped at Buc-ee's yesterday and we were so disappointed. They don't start selling brisket by the pound until 10:30, and we got there at 9:30. I would have stayed. I mean, you could go to the bathroom for a while. Those are clean bathrooms. Like, I feel like as soon as you come out of that stall, that guy goes in there and starts cleaning up again. It's crazy in there. Gonna stop by Buc-ee's on the way to and from Nashville the end of the month. I'm excited about that. But we still had 9 hours to go. You could have napped in the parking lot. Amy says, yay for Evelyn with the PSMF. I love it so much more than long traditional fasts, and it works. I can't do long fasts. See, I've been wanting to do a fast all January, and I haven't been able to get one started. And I've been wanting to do more triple B&E, and I haven't been able to do that. I've been very struggling in my own resolve to do things that I want to do. I've just been so, yeah. You know. Evelyn says, I buy my eggs from a local person and she's charging $2.50 a dozen and they are amazing. Well, that's awesome. At least I know that the people that are growing the eggs that are on the local side of things aren't price gouging at like the stores and stuff. And I don't necessarily think they're price gouging. I'm pretty sure that there's a long line of price increases and they have to make a certain percentage of profit all the way. I understand that's how business works. But you know what I'm saying. Rick says, I need a Duckies for eggs. Duck eggs are delicious too, but they're hard to find and they're usually $1 an egg. So like I know before they were $6 for 6 eggs, 6 duck eggs, but you know. Let's see. Dustin, I'll go sit in the bathroom to pass time. I will. I don't care. Evelyn says, I still do a 36-hour fast once a week, but PSMF does different things for my body, and I still have a lot to lose. Rick is saying that fast is code for starving yourself. I don't necessarily think that that's true. There is an element of starvation there, but I think we evolved. Truly, in my opinion, we evolved not eating every day. The hunt wasn't successful every time. And I know that there was always a struggle to find food as we were evolving. So I think the idea of us building in fasts is a good thing. And I think at least 1 to 2 7-day extended fasts a year is probably really beneficial to the human body. Now, I can't recommend that as a professional because I am not a professional. I am not a doctor or a healthcare professional. But in my experience and in my personal journey, I do try and do 2 7-day water fasts a year. I feel good when I do that. Amy says, this time of year, it's hard to get started. We all need vitamin D. Yeah. Brian says, I've learned the last 3 months that it's not just the carbs, but more about sugar and sweeteners, morning glucose now in the 80s. That's amazing, Brian. I'm glad you're starting to figure that out. I'm truly, truly, truly glad. And I'm really glad that you stuck with it and you worked to find it. I mean, a lot of people would give up. And that's truly commendable, sir. I'm here for you. Andy says, I almost quit triple B&E yesterday. Got bad news that will affect us in the next few weeks. I'm sorry, Andy. Rick says, Mama Duck can be difficult to deal with. Mr. Guggenheim's getting more coffee. Don't mind if I do. Brian says, my ketones are over two every day. This morning was glucose 80 and ketones 1.9. with dawn effect. That's fantastic. Now, give me like a high level of what you changed. Just give me like a quick blurb on what you changed so we can talk about that. Amy says the longest fast I did was a day and a half before my colonoscopy. Like, nope, that isn't for me. Well, and I didn't start doing long fasts. When I started the ketogenic diet, the intermittent fasting and everything was a big part of what we were talking about. And I probably wasn't even going 12 hours without eating food. So for me, I started at about 12 hours. I was doing 12 hours a day, 12-hour eating window, 12-hour not eating window, 12-hour fasting window. Then I slowly moved that to 14-hour fasting window and then 16 hours and 18 hours. And then I did like my first 24-hour fast. And then I bumped that to like 36 hours. And I remember going into 72 hours and thinking, oh my goodness, I'm never going to make this. But this is all over the course of about a year and a half, 2 years. I didn't just jump in doing 7 days. It took me a while. And I remember going into my first 7-day fast and I was talking with a coworker and she was like, you're going to die. Oh, and I'm like, I'll be fine. And I got through 7 days just fine. And I've done 7 days I've done up to 21 days. 21 days was a struggle, and I did take me a few times to get there because I got like 14 days a few times, 15 days, and I was very open and listening to my body because it's very important to make sure you are listening to your body and don't be too proud to end a fast early if you need to. Truly. I've ended I took me a couple of tries to hit 21 days. Let's see. Andy says, I touched on it in this morning's video, comes out at 9. I hate putting things to bed and they pop up again like a zombie wanting a new life and attention. Oh goodness. Let's see. Jerry, Carnivore, Jerry, yeah. My annual fasting started for religious reasons. I stuck for health, autophagy results. Yeah, Jason Fong is awesome. Brian says, unbelievable. Absolutely no sweeteners of any kind. I gave up intermittent fasting. No keto chow, no salty, no element, no sweeteners. But you can still use the salty, the unflavored stuff. I would still say I would still try and use that. I think that the no sweetener ones, just the I don't think I have any up here, but just the clean slate stuff is pretty good. That's one of my favorite ones. And I'll use that when I fast. Joined a group called No Sugar, No Grains. That's interesting. So, yeah, I mean, yeah, but I'm glad you got it figured out and it's working for right now. Let's see. Amy says, if I ever got cancer, I would consider the long fast and the Thomas seed-free press pulse protocol. I think that, along with the barometric pressure things, I think that's what they're called. I know there's like a pressure thing. Yeah. And Brian says he still uses daily minerals. Jerry says Keto Chow sells fasting drops and they are marvelous and they get through the extended fasting period. Yeah. I enjoy the benefits of fasting. I stopped doing it because of the stress at work and fitting it in, but I've started it on weekends and I like how I feel when fasting. For me, I utilize fasting with work because then I didn't have to worry about bringing a lunch. I didn't have to pack. I didn't have to meal prep for the week. I could just show up to work, do my job, go home, and then I would cook dinner with the family and eat. Because if I fasted after lunch, so if I fasted, my eating window was while I was at work, then when I got home from work, I wasn't able to sit down. It was at the time more difficult for me to sit down with the family and enjoy a meal. I could sit down with them, sure, but it was easier to eat with them break my fast with them and have a good meal and sit at the table and talk about the day than eating at work. So, and I know that doesn't work for everybody, but that was something that I did because I felt that the time savings, because I was going to have to cook dinner no matter what happens when I got home. So if I was cooking and meal prepping for me, that was time I had to spend. And then I had to remember to bring it. Then I'd have to bring back the stuff and wash it every day and all that stuff. And I didn't want to do that. That way I was just cooking one meal a day. And then, and I was done. So it was a convenience. Fasting was a convenience tool for me. Fasting is always really for me a convenience thing. So if I don't want, like when I'm out driving for, doing the job and I'm out driving, and if I have an 8-hour drive, I don't even have to worry about stopping for food. I don't have to worry about doing anything. I drive them and I drive back. I do usually have a coffee with me. Then I have waters and stuff. But I don't have to worry about bringing food. I can just get up and go. So to me, fasting is one of the things that I can utilize to streamline my life. And I don't think a lot of people look at it that way. Because that way I don't have to worry about bringing a lunch. I don't have to worry about stopping to get food. And now there's been times where I've been out and about and I kind of like see a bunch of fast food places, or I stop into a rest stop or a truck stop to go to the bathroom, and there's like a Hardee's there, and I'm like, I could get some burger patties. But I'm like, that's going to cost me a bunch of money. I'm going to sit here and eat them. And I'm just like, I'll just eat when I get home. So I think that's just how I do it. I really just utilize fasting to make my life easier. Now when I'm home a lot, it doesn't really come into play. Fasting will be when I'm working in my office and I lose track of time and I realize I haven't eaten, and it's 8:00 at night. So, or I've been busy all day or whatever. Yeah, the pressure tubes. Yeah, okay. That's good to know. And Jerry says, yep, 100%. Fasting is cheaper too. It really is. Fasting is cheaper than going out to fast food. Fast food is not cheap anymore. Fast food used to be cheap and convenient. Now I don't even think it's really either of those things, because you've got to bring up an app, order through your app. One day we were getting the girl, which she had been good, and we were getting her a Happy Meal. And they had a thing where you can save like $2 off a Happy Meal, and I go to order it, and I have a code, and then they wouldn't let me use it because she wanted a cheeseburger Happy Meal, and it was only for a nugget Happy Meal or a hamburger Happy Meal, not a cheeseburger Happy Meal. Oh, it was so frustrating. Evelyn says, I had started overeating keto foods to keep myself from stumbling and eating the crap in the break room at work. Fasting puts my signals back on track, so I feel full and hungry again. Leptin ghrelin. Yeah. And I also see like these guys that I pick up and take places. And granted, they may be gone 16, 18, 20, who knows how many hours. And they've got these giant lunch boxes that they're taking with them. Because sometimes I'm picking them up off of a train and then taking them to a hotel. And they're talking about going out to dinner, because usually these hotels are right next to restaurants. And I'm just like, I don't even know how I would handle that. I would probably be like, well, but they're like on call 6 days a week or whatever. So who knows what their eating schedules are like. It's got to be torture on them, as they're trying to sleep where they can sleep and be awake when they're awake. It's just crazy. And Cindy says fasting is cheaper because you don't eat it all. No need, not only for restaurants, but grocery stores as well. Yeah. And I mean, I can go into gas stations. Now, I do drink beverages while I'm driving. I have a backpack that I take with me. I've got a backpack that I bring with me to work. It's got like extra socks, underwear. You never know what's going to happen. You know what I mean? It's got a hat in there, and I usually keep a couple bottles of water, a couple energy drinks, because when I go and pick up a run, I don't even really know how long I'm going to be gone. So just like the other day, Thursday, I think it was Wednesday or Thursday. I can't remember which one it was. Thursday, I'm pretty sure. I got to run to go pick up a crew, uh, like an hour away at 2 o'clock. So I had to go pick up the van, drive the hour to be there by 2. So I get there at 2, the train's not there, and I'm like, well, where is it? So I sit there for a while and I send information to dispatch, making sure that I'm in the right location, make sure that, there isn't anything that I need to know. Because I mean, there are times, especially when it gets to the extreme cold, the rail lines, the metal, the rails themselves can crack and break. And then they have to wait and have them fixed before they continue driving 2 miles of train over it. So I, sent to dispatch, and then they were like, "Well, we just sit tight." And then come to find out, I talked to my supervisor. She had me go to a different location. There was no train there. Nobody was there. Luckily, they had a restroom, and I went in and he was able to use the restroom or whatever. And then it was just creepy. It was like an old train station type thing. Some of the weirdest stuff happens at this job. But I was just kind of like in no man's land trying to pick up this crew. Come to find out, they had him in a different county, in a different town, about 45 minutes to an hour west of where I was. I had to drive through the hollers of Indiana to get to them, and then I had to drive, like, almost got stuck in the snow, and it was pretty crazy. I picked them up 3 hours late, but it wasn't anything to do to me. They changed things. They started trying to give me information, but they only gave me half the address. Like, they just gave me, like, the county road, but they didn't tell me what county it was. So, yeah, um, I don't mind the job. So Jeff is saying that, he must be enjoying that. It's frustrating. The communication is awful between the train company and my company, to me. Like I said, like, they'll send me information. They'll tell me, "Oh, we'll pick up this train," and they'll give me the track coordinates. They'll tell me the mile marker of the track. Well, that's no information that I can find. You can't Google that. That's not on Google Maps. You have to work for the railroad to know that. And I don't technically work for the railroad. I work for the company that is that works for the railroads. So it's just like me out there twiddling my thumbs, stressing out a little bit. I mean, not really stressing out. I mean, part of me, because I do like to do a good job, and I have to make sure that it's not me messing up. Like when they say go to they'll tell me go to Greencastle. That's all they tell me. Go to Greencastle. So I have to, and it's not really been very much that I've even gone to the same place twice. I've been to the same place twice. And so, like, even taking notes doesn't help me. But now I do have some notes on certain things that I've been to twice. But just the idea that, like, oh, just go there. And then I'm like, well, I need to know where I'm going. And then they give me information that I can't use. Like, they should know that, but they don't. It's frustrating. I mean, it's like $15 an hour. I only get paid while I'm on duty. So, like, as soon as I pick up a van, I start getting paid. So the other day I got paid, like, I was like 8 hours to do like a 3 or 4 hour job, just because it took me 3 hours to pick them up, where they should have been there, but they weren't. So anyway, yeah. Evelyn says, I don't do coffee when doing PSMF, but I drink coffee on my 36-hour fast. So I'm having my first coffee since Friday now. It tastes so much better when you wait for it. That's how I feel, because I usually make this coffee about 6:30 in the morning and don't have it till 7. So I make it, set it aside. Today I had to watch my Sunday with Ola, and then I shower real quick because I had to, look good for y'all. You know what I'm saying? I had to be showered and smell good for you guys. Becky says, I'm making carnivore egg cups to bring to a brunch gathering, so I have something to eat. Well, that's super cool. Evelyn's Cindy says, I wait months on end, still not good. Amy says, I need to list myself on Fiverr. The issue with Fiverr is I think I would be getting more work than pay. Because if you go look on Fiverr and you start looking at like what they're charging, it's like 5, 10, 15 bucks to do something. And like, I don't even think I'd be making enough an hour to make it worthwhile. And I would rather help you guys. I would rather help this community. So anybody who needs something in this community, hopefully they'll reach out to me. And, I'm not charging a lot because I don't think that's right necessarily. I mean, my skills, I'm utilizing this work to get better, but I'm also spending time doing it. So I don't think I'm overcharging anybody. But I think I want to keep it within the community for now. I don't want to go and put myself up for sale like on Fiverr or whatever. At least not right now, maybe in the future. But yeah, I just want to help our community look the best, get their message across. I just want to make sure that all of our friends are doing cool stuff and having things that look good. And if you are new to editing and you're editing your own content, follow people. If you're using DaVinci Resolve, follow Daniel Battelle. He has a series of shorts called DaVinci Resolve for Noobs, and little things to make your stuff go and look so much more professional with some of the easiest to understand explanations. And his voice is better than mine. So, I mean, I have a better beard, but his voice is better. So, let's see. Becky says, Evelyn, what do you eat on PSMF? I gave up trying to make and eat egg white bread. I'd rather scramble egg whites. John Guggenheim is off the church. Thank you, sir, for being here. Be safe. Have a good time, and I'll see you soon, friend. Let's see. Evelyn says, I go simple. I eat egg whites and shrimp, usually do a big scramble, and sometimes add egg life wrap noodles. I call them shrimp scampi eggs. Let's see. Cindy, eggs, cheese, bacon pieces, and a muffin baking tin and bake. Amy's asking, how much is DaVinci? DaVinci Resolve is free. There's a free version that is extremely robust, and I used that for 4 years. You can purchase DaVinci Resolve. It is a one-time fee of $295, but it's one time, and I got mine for free from Daniel Battelle. He got a chance to start working with Resolve, and they sent him a bunch of peripherals. And anything you buy from Resolve, so if you buy like an editing keyboard, whether it's the full-size keyboard or the editing keyboard, color grading consoles, cameras, anything, it comes with the studio version or the paid version of Resolve. And so I was waiting to get a keyboard, and the keyboard's like $600, but then like 300 of that, basically you're getting the Resolve for free. So instead of buying Resolve, you know what I mean? But I think Studio is very worth it. But I think for someone just beginning, there's nothing in the free version. There's nothing missing from the free version that you would need. I used it for 4 years and made 600-700 videos with it. I've made almost every video on my platform with the free version. So free is 100% robust enough to get most YouTubers where they need to go. I think eventually moving forward and getting the paid version, there's some things that the paid version does, like it automatically will create subtitles or the words on the screen for you. There's a lot of cool things it will do. Yeah. Funny thing is, Filmora is that's how I found Daniel Battelle. He had been a person helping people learn how to use Filmora. And then they had a thing where they were charging like a one-time fee, and then they went back on it and then started doing a subscription service to even people who had already paid the one-time fee. And so he talked about that, had a big thing. Then he switched to Resolve because Resolve was free and was very robust. and he started helping people learn how to use the free version of Resolve. So that's how I found out about Daniel Patel. So I would say if you're paying for Filmora, I would stop and use Resolve. Now, the only issue with Resolve is it is very resource heavy on your computer, but the new version 19 is so much faster. I started with 16. I think it was 16 beta. So 15 was what was out, but I was using 16 beta. And then I've used 16, 17, 18, and now using 19 Studio. And I think it's, well, even for the $300, it's a one-time fee. Super awesome. So let me show you guys what I use. Let me see. Oh, let's see. This is the brand that I use, but it's not the same. We get one that's like red, but it's the same brand. Let me bring this over so you guys can. So this is the espresso pods we use, the espresso pods. And we get them delivered. So yeah. And then I use let's see if I can see if I can find, and I love this espresso powder. I utilize this stuff. It's so good. This Nescafe Gold. They have a bold and they have a blonde. I like both. Or it's intense and blonde. I like them both. So I use that in my coffee every day as well. Let's see. Jerry's asking, is TikTok and Canva gone? TikTok is gone. Canva is not. There was CapCut, I guess, is gone. People were utilizing CapCut. I'm not sure what that had to do with TikTok, but CapCut was a browser editing service that you could take a long form video, like when this was done, I could take the link to this video, put it in CapCut, and it would go in and find 30-second, minute-long clips. And then it would make so, and then you'd have to pay for the service. There was free service involved, but it wasn't very good as far as I could see. There was watermarks and stuff in the free version. I think the paid version was probably a little bit better. I just didn't pay because it was kind of expensive and you're paying for how many hours of stuff you're putting through it. So that was kind of weird. But yeah, I mean, especially because it was automatic. But Canva should still be there, but TikTok is gone for now. I guess it's like not even like I don't even think you can use it in China. People in Canada can't use it. It was supposed to be just the US, but something's weird there. So I don't really know if we're getting the whole story. So I guess more will probably come out over the next couple of days, months. Kick was talking about purchasing it. Mr. Beast was talking about purchasing it. So if they don't buy it and something's going on, I would say there's probably something going on with it because I would say that it's probably very lucrative if they were to buy it. Let's see. Annie says my Adobe Printer Pro subscription lasts until June. So I'll move over to DaVinci Resolve after that. It shouldn't be hard to move everything over. No, really. I mean, everything should be just fine. Um, you just all your assets and everything that you utilize should all be in folders. And you just go into Resolve and open up in those folders. It's not that big of a deal. Rick is telling Cindy that it's an editing software. JJ says, "Good morning, y'all. Ooh, techie talk. Me likey. Being a Mac guy, I'd be more likely to go with Final Cut Pro. But Final Cut Pro is like $50 a month. DaVinci Resolve is a $300 one-time fee. So you're getting for 6 months of Final Cut Pro, you're getting the full version of Resolve forever. So that's the reason I would stay away from Final Cut Pro. Now, looking at assets and looking at things that you can do in Resolve, there's a lot of aftermarket stuff for Final Cut, but I don't necessarily think it's worth the extra cost. I don't like a subscription only, and I don't like the idea that for Final Cut Pro is like $49 a month. I think that's crazy. But that's just me. Nespresso different from so they're small. So the Nespresso cups are like this big. They're small. They're about that big. K cups are that big and that big around. So they're smaller footprint, more pressure, stronger cup. So basically, for a teeny tiny little cup of espresso, you're getting the full strength of a whole K cup. So like this is like 5 Nespresso pods in here. And I also put 3 scoops or 3 teaspoons of my espresso powder in here. So yeah. Yeah, I get that still, Amy. But anyway, she said, I started getting weird people messaging me about helping my channel grow. I've been ignoring them. Yeah, because they're scams. They'll want access to your channel, then your channel's gone. So yeah, don't do that. And have a good day at church. Be safe. Have fun. Yeah, Canva's not gone. CapCut's gone. Let's see. I almost can guarantee that TikTok is back. If TikTok doesn't come back, there was something way bigger at large that we don't know about. But my thing with TikTok is I think that what the stuff they were selling us isn't the truth. I think it was the idea that people in the United States having a worldwide reach to go viral on things. So showing what's going on in the United States that can go viral. And I know you could probably do that with Instagram and Twitter and all that stuff. But I think TikTok was just different and it scared people. So I honestly think the reason why TikTok is gone is because it scared people. It scared the right people who have the power to make it disappear. That's a scary precedent to see because, I mean, I utilize TikTok. I have like 8,000, 8,500 followers. I have a friend that was making like 30 grand a year doing TikTok. And that income is gone now. He has a full-time job too, but you have a full-time job and you're making an extra 30 grand a year. That's a huge hit to your daily life. That's insane. Oh yeah. Jerry says CapCut. Yeah. Canadians can still see it and have an update this morning. Well, there's a Canadian that I follow and she couldn't even use it anymore. Her account's gone. So I don't know. It depends on the version. The Final Cut Pro, the Mac version is $200, but the iPad version is subscription. Well, that's silly. That's the thing is like, I think that there is an iPad version of Resolve. And if you have paid the $300, you can utilize it between. I think you can use it on two machines at a time. So, like, if you log into 2 machines, you can use Resolve on 2 machines. Then they have other subscriptions, or they have other things out there that for businesses and stuff who need because they use it to make movies and stuff too. So yeah. Yeah, so CapCut is available right now. Law banning CapCut has been enacted in the U.S., unfortunately, because it's making it easy to make long-form content into shorts. It was AI. It was basically utilizing AI. So I don't know what's going to happen with that. I didn't even realize that was a thing. Nobody even had talked about it. Unless you go through the education store and you get all your Apple software for $200. Okay. I don't have Apple anything. I do like the idea of like the MacBook Pros, and I think I wouldn't mind eventually just having a dedicated editing computer. So just a computer that I just do, like, the only thing on it is editing stuff, and obviously things to get assets and to and from the computer, so it have access to my Google account, my Google Drive, and all that. But I don't like Apple's walled garden, so I wouldn't get an iPhone. I wouldn't do that. I would just use the computer, just get like a MacBook Pro, just for editing, because I think they're the best for editing. But I mean, or maybe not even a MacBook Pro, maybe like one of those new Mac Mini, those little Mac M4 Mac Minis. But then, like, you got to pay to have extra storage and all that stuff. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. The TikTok CEO has a special seat at the inauguration tomorrow. I don't know. Something weird's going on. Who knows? Why it would be gone here doesn't make any sense. I mean, realistically, I understand what they're telling us, but it doesn't make sense to me. Steph is here. Good morning, Exposing Darkness. Thank you for joining us, my dear. Let's see. I watch. Well, yeah, most of the YouTubers, the tech YouTubers I watch are using Mac stuff. I want to say just about all of them, probably. But like the computer that I'm using, I found this one on a YouTuber. A bunch of YouTubers were reviewing this laptop. It's the Lenovo Slim 7X or whatever. In Canada, it's called the Yoga. I got it at Costco for like $1,300 on sale, and it's a Ryzen 9 with a GeForce 3050 in it, 32 gigs of DDR5 RAM and a terabyte hard drive. So I mean, is it the best for everything that I need it for? No, but at the time I'm still on a very extreme budget, and I needed something, and this works wonders for the money that I paid. So yeah, and yeah, an external hard drive would be a thing to do. Yeah. I screenshot the person saying everything is in a status of suspended animation. Yeah. Something weird. Watch it. Can of worms when it comes to politics. Yeah, I mean, I try not to talk politics here, but I mean, I think that this is probably bigger than. This is definitely bigger than partisan politics. This is strange. So yeah. All this techie talk nerd. You need to learn this too, Cindy. Everybody who does YouTube should be kind of on board with the nerd stuff. I mean, you've got a camera you've never even used. I'm talking to you, Cindy. Yeah. I kind of thought DJI at this year's CES would have announced and unveiled a new mirrorless camera, but they did not. I was really kind of anticipating them doing that. But the Hollyland has come out with a new. So I'll show you guys what I use. Well, in our downstairs lives, in this live, I've got a Rode mic here, and it feeds into my Rodecaster 2. So that's what I use in my office. But down in the downstairs, when Shannon and I are together, I use this. So this is what I use downstairs. These two little mics here. They're little magnets. They go on your shirt. They're super small. They sound fantastic. They've got like they have the camera and the two different. I have both of these, one for Android, one for Apple. Even though like the newer Apples will still utilize the USB-C, but they do have a new one that just got announced, and I'll show that one to you. These look pretty cool. So these don't even need a magnet. So this just kind of clips over your shirt. They're even smaller. They're $150. I think that's super awesome. I think that's yeah. This is USB-C with the camera. I think it's pretty awesome. I think these are probably going to be some of the bigger ones to use now, but yeah. Good morning. I've seen this, but I haven't tried it yet. I don't know. I don't know. I'm on the fence about it. We tried it early on in our keto career. We would take plain pork rinds and like shake them in butter and then shake them in cinnamon and sugar and eat them like that. I don't know how I feel about this, the whole keto chow on it. What do you guys think? JJ says, if and when we move, hopefully this year, and buy a house, I plan to starting a YouTube channel and hopefully get my wife to do one too. Everybody should have a YouTube channel, realistically. That's just my opinion, but they're a lot of work. They can be a lot of work. Evelyn says, I'm glad y'all bring good content. My tech ends at posting pictures on Facebook page. You know to post videos on Facebook. Carnivore K says, Cindy, Dustin needs to have old people nerdy tech classes. I'd totally be into that. You guys want to set it up? I will do that if I could do that. That's no big deal. Barbara, good morning. Sunny just got her DJI Mic Minis. Let me take a look at those. Those look pretty cool. I like the Hollyland ones. They were a little cheaper than the DJI ones. These ones aren't bad. These aren't that badly priced, but this one is set up for this one's the transmitter version. Are these the ones you have, Sonny? JJ says, I don't have the right setting to film where I am now. Already have an account. The thing is you don't need anything fancy to start. Just a phone and record you. Realistically, that's all you need. That's all you need. You don't need this. These are curtains that I got off of Amazon that I hung up on the walls. It does help with the echo and stuff in here. Evelyn says, I've heard it's good. We used all our pork rinds to make chicken nuggets. Oh, that's cool. Has anybody ever tried the batter, the chicken nugget, or the chicken strip batter that I make, utilizing egg whites with Parmesan cheese and make a batter out of it? And the video that I posted, I was utilizing a little bit of oat fiber, but I've updated it. I haven't put a video out yet, but I use gelatin instead to thicken it up a little bit, and I think it works really well. So I need to make a new video on that. I had a full video to edit, but it just was messier than I wanted. It didn't look as good as I wanted it to look. But yeah. Yeah, the single mini is cheaper, but wanted two because I do long drives sometimes. Yeah. And that's one thing I liked about the Hollyland. They had long mic, like the mics last a long time. I've only had to charge the box twice since I've had it. I'm in the car. The road noise is loud. Yeah. Langanabby is a fancy Louisiana thing. Okay. Cool. Well, let us know when you get it started. We'll share it out and we'll make sure you get some subscribers and all that good stuff. Yeah, that's that. But I mean, that was a old video for me. So just look at realistically the same amount of oat fiber in that video is here. I'll see if I can find it and I'll share it in here for you guys. All right, girls. It was a long time ago I made that video. Oh my goodness, it's a super long time ago, I guess. Maybe? Where is it? Why can't I find my own video? Oh, I don't even know what's going on here. Why can't I find my own video? Oh, there we go. I was looking right at it. It's only got 683 views. I really wish it had more views. Really bothers me. Here's the chicken tender video. Sorry that took so long. I don't know what's going on. Steph says I will watch for the revisited. Yeah, I need to remake it and make it better. It was just they were just so big and they just didn't turn out the way I wanted them to. But the chicken tender ones always come out just good. Evan says I use Andy's recipe for chicken nuggets. One daughter says it's the best. The other daughter doesn't care for it at all. What did I miss? Keto chow and pork skins. I've been seeing the video. Dry keto chow, shake it over pork rinds. I don't know. That just seems like it would be a weird flavor. I don't know how like keto chow would work dry. I just saw using powders like Crystal Light with them. Let's see. It started with a video of lemon meringue, but on Keto Chow page, people are using all the flavors. Barbara says I tried sprinkling it on plain. It was okay. Going to try it again. Keto Chow has a recipe on their site for Muddy Buddy puppy chow that use pork skins. I'm going to try that next. Okay. Yeah, I don't know how I feel about that. Chocolate pork rinds. Delicious. Oh, yeah. So there's that video. I wish that video had more views. I wish it would just get more views. I need to figure out how to make it more viral. That's just what I need, like speaking of CapCut, And Daniel Battelle, he's live right now. He's live right now showing people how to use Resolve, DaVinci Resolve for CapCut users. Let's get you started. So after this, if you were interested, go and follow Daniel Battelle. Tell him that I sent you, KetoSimple sent you, and that he is helping people utilize DaVinci Resolve as the same way people use CapCut. I don't know how it's going to work, and he's going to show you guys how to do that. I'll have to go back and rewatch that or watch that because it's live right now. But yeah, super interesting. He's a super great guy. Like I said, he hooked me up with the code for Resolve Studio 19, which I mean, I'll get to all the updates and everything. And I just put an update on there, like 5 gigs, huge updates. Oh my goodness. But yeah. But I mean, if anybody would be interested in like a techie YouTuber Q&A, like I'd be happy to do that. I don't know how to do it. Start with your phone and all that stuff. We could probably do something private like that. Just let me know. We'll figure it out. I would guess using butter to stick it to pork rinds would make it tastier. Oh yeah. It just seems like it'd be, I mean, I don't know. It just seems, yeah. I wonder if you cook the pork rinds yourself, if you add the keto chow right away, that'll work better. Probably would. All the techie stuff gives me a headache, but you got to know it, right? I mean, I've had to learn all this stuff, like especially the first year or whatever. I was just trying to learn anything and everything I could about Resolve and everything, just digging deep so I could do this. So, I mean, I understand that it's one of those things. Nope. Nope. What? I'm going to ban you, Cindy. Put you in timeout. I mean, for what you do, iMovie works fine. Everyone says, I'm guessing while they are fresh, all the powders would stick better. Yeah, I imagine they would. JJ says, I'll definitely need help with my streaming stuff when I get started. Yeah, I'll help you guys out. No worries with that. Just screenshotted that info on Daniel. We'll be watching that. Thank you. You are an invaluable tool in my toolbox. Well, I'm glad. Daniel, I mean, he just puts out he put out a short the other day. I mean, when I see them, I'm guessing it's new. But how to take just something easy like a sailboat going across, and you could use it for who knows what, right? It's like a sailboat on the water going across the screen, and then behind it, it just says sailboat. And so it's pretty cool stuff. You know what I mean? Like, thank you, Stephanie. Thank you so much. $4.99. I think it's a super sticker or super chat. Thank you so very much. I appreciate you so very much. JJ says those chicken tenders look like Chili's Crispers. They're so easy. Like, now they will stick together. Really, they'll stick together. So like when you're putting them in the lard or whatever in your frying pan, you got to make sure you're spreading them out because if they start to, they'll stick, and they're like hard to get apart without splashing the grease everywhere. So you got to like put one on one side, one on the other side, and then one over here, then one over here. Yeah. So I need to remake that and do it with chicken tenders. I also have a bag of frozen cod in my freezer that I want to make a video of making like battered codfish because I love like Long John Silver's, but obviously we know that that's not something we can have. So yeah, I just figure I can try to make that and see how it turns out. But again, thank you so much, Stephanie. I truly appreciate you very much. Thank you so much. I love you, Cindy. He is a tool for sure. 100%. That's right. Andy says, I knew when I wrote it, someone would catch that he's a tool, right? Let's see. There was a post that said savory flavors on pork rinds might be good too. Oh yeah. The potato? Ooh, I wonder if the donut flavor would be good. The donut flavor on the pork rinds. That might be good. Like donut flavored pork rinds. That might be yummy, yummy, yummy. Andy says he's one of my favorite people. I'm so happy to have him in my computer tech corner. Oh my goodness gracious. I appreciate all of you so very much. Yeah, just like the pork and good flavored ones. Yeah. Um, Still can't beat the sour cream and onion pork and good pork rinds. Those are my favorite, but there's a difference. And okay, maybe I don't know, let me know in the comments. I like the white cheddar because I have access to the white cheddar, the sour cream and onion easily at Walmart, as well as the butterscotch. So I buy those are the three that I'll buy. Sour cream and onion, the white cheddar. But the white cheddar consistency is always fluffier than the sour cream and onion ones. I don't know what the deal is, but like the sour cream and onion ones are always like harder, more crunchy, and the white cheddar ones are always more floofy and pillowy. That's weird. I don't know what the difference is or why that comes out, but almost every bag of those two flavors I buy come out that way. It's pretty weird. And Andy is correct. Sour cream and onion is the best. Well, she said it's her favorite, but I'm gonna say that's the best. Let's see. Yes, but without the sugar, I'm gonna be trying the birthday cake. Yummy, yummy, yummy. Let's see. Cindy says, love the birthday cake and the butterscotch. Butterscotch is my favorite flavor that we can get at Walmart. We can get the butterscotch and we can also get the Sure Wow, but I'm not a big fan of that one. I don't think it's flavorful enough. Shelly's in the house. Good morning, Shelly. She says, hi, friends. Good Sunday morning to you. I'm so late. I'll catch the replay after. Well, thank you for being here. I appreciate you so very much. And Stephanie's asking, I wonder if KPL will come back next year. I don't know. I don't want to get my hopes up about it, but I imagine that if she's what Andy's saying down here is that she's basically reformatted her channel to a finance channel. And hopefully you guys are still following her. I hope you guys are still following her and supporting her and what she does. She's been so integral for us and our community that I think we still owe her support. And I think what she has to offer is still very beneficial to a lot of people. Financial literacy is very low in this country. And I think hopefully she's providing valuable information. So I still think we should all be going over and supporting her channel. But I highly doubt that she'll do KPL again. I really doubt it. I mean, it pains me and it hurts my feelings, but I don't think it'll happen. Maybe she'll surprise us and maybe she'll miss it and she'll miss us and all that stuff. If they got rid of the turbinado sugar and then it would be great. Yeah, that's the problem with the pork and good though. They use sugar because again, like most of the meat companies, like people that make jerky or pork rinds or whatever, they don't typically utilize artificial sweeteners. they use things like pineapple juice or pineapple juice powders. So they say it's sugar free, just like there's a lot of the sugar free items and no added sugar, but they're putting dates, which is sugar, right, into their products. Now, even with Pork and Good and the beef jerkies, it's still relatively low amount. It's like 1 gram or less per serving, but still you have to look at that and understand that's in there. And they don't typically, I mean, I can't even get Liquid Death to come out with a sugar free. They still utilize agave and all that stuff. Now, they do have a new soda. They have cola, root beer, and like a Dr. Pepper flavor that I've just seen them come out with. Look like they're in 12-ounce cans. So that's interesting. I need to check those out. I love the company Liquid Death. But yeah. Karen's in the house. Good morning. Karen slept in, catching the last of the chat. It's not the last yet. We've got at least a half hour to go, most likely. Maybe another hour and a half. I don't know how long we'll go. Just depends on how long you guys come in and keep me entertained. And he says, I'm following her because I love her finance channels. I got to look and see. Is it still in there? Let me go and look and see. I'm subscribed, but just looking over her channel. She's got 5 videos out on this. So zero-based, 2025 budget, savings goals, net worth recap. And how she spent over $100,000 4 days ago. So keep supporting her. It looks like all of her old popular videos are still up there about keto and all that stuff. So she hasn't taken it all down yet. So hopefully that stays up. I wish she would do KPL again. I'm just not going to keep my hopes up for that. I just don't see it happening again. JJ loves her videos. Shelly King says smoky jalapeno and cheese and the nacho are my favorite Pork and Good flavors. The butterscotch 100% best for the sweet ones. Yeah, I'm just talking about the ones that I can get from Walmart. They have a very limited selection. So, yeah. I would like to see it happen. I just think it's such a massive undertaking. I mean, it's like probably right now, probably for someone to start fresh, it'd be like $100,000 in upfront capital. And then you have to sell all the tickets and do everything to get your money back. And that's a big investment, like impossible for someone like me to come up with $100,000. It would be something that I couldn't do. Not that I wouldn't love to do it, but it would be very difficult. And Cindy said, that's like the small amount of maltodextrin element. I understand. It is. And people can choose whether or not they want to utilize the element or they don't. Do I think the small amount of maltodextrin is a huge issue in element? I don't. For the average person, it's insignificant. The only people who truly care about it is the niche down like us. We're the only ones who care. And for me, really only bothered me because they were so not so upfront about it. That's what bothered me the most. It had nothing to do with the amount. It was how they went about telling us about it. Now, I will avoid them because I know they have maltodextrin, and I avoid maltodextrin as much as I can. But that's like freaking out about like the spices in a rotisserie chicken at Costco versus paying 500% more for a raw chicken you had to go home and cook. So you got to buy it for more money and put effort and time into it and electricity and all that stuff. So I think we got to pick our battles. And that's like for me, every once in a while, some of that, 8 grams of sugar for a whole bag of Pork and Good pork rinds is the least of my worries. Chris is in the house. Good morning, Chris, Ash, and Mel. I'm so glad you are all here. I hope you're enjoying your cups of coffee. Hopefully you have coffee in your hand. Coffee is so delicious. What's the deal with meeting Heath and Shelley? Oh, meeting Heath and Shelley. That's going to be March the 8th in Columbus, Ohio. There is information about that on Low Carb Events. There is a cap, so you need to sign up before that is done if you are planning to go. I am planning to go. I am me plus one. I think I am taking Jen Lucas as well as Lynn, 22 Q Cat. I think they're going to ride with me. That's going to be a lot of fun hanging out with those two in the car for 3 hours each way. But yeah, so I'm super stoked about that. So go over to Low Carb Events and sign up if that's something you're interested in. They are doing like a long road trip, kind of winding their way through the Midwest, culminating, or in the middle of it is the meetup March 8th in Columbus, Ohio. I know they're coming through. I think we're having lunch somewhere the next day here in Indianapolis. Not quite sure where we're doing that, or if it's going to be Rockstar Pizza, whatever, but we're going to do hopefully a little meetup doing something like that the next day. But yeah, so super stoked about that. Like I said, coming up next Sunday, I have a live just like this Sunday morning coffee. And then in the evening at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Chris, Victor, and I will be doing Keto Crusade, episode number 3. Super stoked about that. You'll be seeing those start to pop up. As soon as Chris pops me over the thumbnail, we'll get that up and I'll get it created. Them the link so they can create it for their channel so we can get it up everywhere it needs to go. So you'll be seeing that within the next day or so, hopefully. And I've been working on the outline and getting things together, what we're going to be talking about. Chris and Victor putting in input, giving us information. It'll be run, but I think Victor's heading this one. I think that's what we're doing. I think we're just taking turns. Everybody's saying good morning. Amy's in the house. Good morning, Amy. Thank you for joining us. She says late to the party. This party don't stop. It's perfectly fine. Shirley said, Dustin, you have your coffee cup back. New one, or did you find yours? I found it, and I went and I was in the van. It was just kind of under the seat, but I found it. I had to wash it. It was gross. It had been like a week with old coffee in it. But yeah, I had it last week, I think. I had it last week. So yeah, I was very happy to get it back. I may buy a new one this coming at the end of the month when I'm down at Buc-ee's. Have a backup. What is her channel called? It's Weather's Health. You can still find it by Watch Autumn Keto. That's what I search for. It still pops up, but it's called Weather's Health. Let me put that in the I'll put it in here for everybody. I don't know if it's going in there or not. So here's that. Here is that. If we use the keto chow butterscotch over plain pork rinds, we would have it without sugar. Yum. Yeah. Barbara says that she was late to the party, so happy to have our replays. Yes. Becky said it's time for a second cup of coffee, y'all. Oh, so Cindy beat me to it. Thank you, Cindy. I appreciate you. Amy's first cup is just brewing. Becky's here to coffee. Evelyn, Cindy, are you on your second cup of diet soda? It's not the same as coffee. Cindy, I'm not sweating any of this stuff. I'm just walking downstairs to make coffee. I'm still struggling. Late night? You guys out partying? Carl says, Element all day, baby. The flavors are the best. They do have good flavors. I think they're a little strong sometimes. And I think I don't add enough water to them, I think, too. Cindy's on her first Alani. I gave Chandra an Alani. They were on sale couple weeks back at Costco, and I bought like four cases. Barbara's on her second cup of coffee. Evelyn's laughing at something. Cindy says, yes, I like salty also. Cool. No worries. I just want to make sure that it doesn't get lost in the, because I had forgot about it until just now. Like, oh, I'm going to need that. That way they're all the same. I think we did it last time. They weren't all the same. So I don't want to confuse people. Keto Crusade. Dun, dun, dun. Next Sunday, the 26th, doing a live with Jerry. Fantastic. Hopefully it's not at 8 p.m. Eastern time. But that would be okay if it was. We wouldn't hold it against you. You can't sign up on low carb events. You have to sign up on Facebook. They've made it. I'm sorry about that, Steph. They did it however they did it. I don't know. I got a thing texted to me about it, and I just signed up from the text. I don't know. Yeah. $4 p.m. Eastern for Cindy's live next Sunday. Fantastic. Yeah, you can just reach out to Maitreya. She'll help you out. Chris says, yes, heavy partying and constant raving. Yeah. Steph's out here going to the health club. Have a good one. Be safe. Have a good time. I will not plan on leaving the house next Sunday. Dustin 7:30, Cindy 4, Amy 7, Keto Crusade 8. Sunday, Sunday, Sunday. Oh, yeah, there's a Sunday update at like 2 p.m. Eastern time for Heath, too. Just everything on Sundays. Like, I got stuff to do, too, guys. Come on. And by partying and raving, I mean dinner at 5:30. I'm glad that Chris has made it to 65 years old and watching Disney's Robin Hood in bed. OMG. Little John and Robin were walking through the forest. Yes. I wanted to show something. So, let's see. I got to look at my... I don't even know if it shows up in my history or not. No. Chris, what was the name of that channel that I was saying that you were listed in the other day? I need to look back at our chat. It's a channel called What I've Learned. I'm going to see if I can bring this up. I'm going to show you something because Chris has mentioned in this video, and I will show it to you. So this video right here, 0 plants. Why is this healing people? It's what I've learned. And Chris has mentioned about, Chris has a short little snippet in there about the 19-minute mark, give or take. And that's not the first video he was mentioned in this last week. I'm not going to talk about the other one because I don't want to give them any more views, but there was a controversial channel that did a video, that did a review or like a reaction to Chris's potato chip video, and I don't want to mention him because the dude is crazy, like ridiculously nuts. Like you go down a rabbit hole and realize this guy is a problem person, crazy, crazy, crazy. But I just wanted to make sure that you guys knew that Chris was mentioned in this video. It's kind of a cool video. It's got almost 500,000 views. It's a cool little look into it. I posted on my channel or on my Facebook, and Richard Morris from Two Keto Dudes commented on it about it. I don't necessarily think he's a big fan of carnivore as a whole, which is kind of strange, but not necessarily unheard of. But yeah, anyway, yeah. Karen says Chris Bear used to manage the Low Carb Events website. It's on there, so it's on the site, but the link or how you sign up is through Facebook. I still like Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves. I think that one's a more entertaining one for me. I still like the animated Robin Hood too, but I'm a big I love Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves. I think that's such a good movie. Got so many great actors in it. Let's see. Carnivore Kip is having a meetup in April in Alabama. I would love to be in Alabama. I don't know where in Alabama he is, but I would love to go down to Alabama. It's just a long drive for me. Like Gulf Shores is like 12 hours. Gulf Shores is my place. I love Gulf Shores so much. I just love the ocean or the Gulf. Brian is working on the business card we talked about. Oh, that's cool. Cool. Yeah, that'd be cool if it'll work out the way I want it to. Yeah, what I've learned. Andy says I need to make a Safe Harbor Live one here and send it over. So what's on the website? Yes. Another one. The other one is wild. It was literal satanic cult leader making a hit piece. He's certifiably nuts. I didn't know he was in a satanic cult. I don't know. That's weird. Spiders, snakes, and lizards' heads. Is if I tattletale, I die. I'll die till I'm dead. Dude is crazy. I mean, just yeah. And he keeps popping up in Chandra's feed, and she's like, ah. Luckily, he hasn't popped up again in my feed, even though I watched that video basically in its entirety. But yeah, sorry to be so vague. I just don't want to send more traffic to him. And I know he did this video really just to get clicks and views and all that stuff, and I understand that. But I mean, he said some not so nice things. I mean, some not so nice things about people losing weight as a whole. But I think he's just a crazy person. So I don't want to drive more traffic to him. And I'm sure Chris agrees with me on that as well. Because I'm sure he would have shared it out or whatever as well. Like maybe he would have reacted to the reaction. But I just don't think that's not a good place for our community. And Sean says that Prince of Thieves is an excellent movie. I've watched that movie hundreds of times. I've watched Disney's Robin Hood thousands of times. I saw Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves, I think probably before I saw Robin Hood, the animated one. My brother and I went to go see it at the movie theaters when it came out. And my mom would just drop my brother off at the movies and see whatever we wanted. But that was such a good movie. I need to watch that again soon. I haven't watched it in a long time. I need to watch a Denzel. There's a Denzel movie I need to watch today or Tuesday night. Talk to Tuesday. Oh. Oh, yeah. What else was I going to say? There was something else that I was going to talk about. I wanted to talk about that video. Oh, I wanted to talk about Oh, before I get to that, Chris says no one needs to waste their time on his channel. He's wanted in several countries. It's not just a channel to avoid. It's a wanted man that has done unspeakable things to women and children. Yeah, so I would say, yeah, don't need to get many views or even mention his name. That's why I haven't even said his name. So, definitely won't be sharing that information out to you guys. I'm sure you could probably find it if you wanted to go find it and search for it. Maybe, I don't know. How did you find out about it, Chris? Did somebody send that to you, or what? Did he tag you in it? There was a video. Who was the video by that I was shared? I'm like not prepared today, ladies and gentlemen. So there was a video, and I can't remember. Can never remember the guy's name. Let's see if I can find it. I don't know if I'm going to find it or not. It was a short video. It was a short. I don't know if it's on here anywhere. Anyway, talking about the fact that Buffalo Wild Wings and the tallow that they use. And I kind of think it's probably something we probably all suspected all along, but um that the tallow that BW3s uses isn't the highest quality tallow. It's not single source, grass fed, grass finished beef tallow. They're not using the Chicago meat packing tallow that we all like to buy from Amazon. They're using basically the lowest, I wouldn't even say necessarily the lowest quality tallow, but it's tallow that's got to stand up in a fryer. It's got to hold up. It's got like BHTs or whatever, and it's like refined or whatever it is, and it is what it is. And this person made the short saying, well, I'm not going to eat here anymore because it's not good, clean tallow. And I think that kind of misses the mark. I think it misses the point. We all struggle and we all do want to go out to dinner sometimes, and I think even if the beef tallow that Buffalo Wild Wings uses may not be the best tallow on the market, it's a definite step in the right direction. And if we don't support companies like that, even doing something even marginally better than using seed oils, I think we should. And we can't sit there and nitpick every single decision that these companies make, or they won't make them. And I'm not saying that we should eat Buffalo Wild Wings every day, because we don't. We go there maybe a couple times a year, but we do it for date nights. We go out and have a dinner. It's a place to go. They do use tallow. It's not the best tallow, but like at the same time, what do we want? Do we want a restaurant to be able to act like a restaurant? Because if they were utilizing the highest quality tallow they can get their hands on, and were cleaning it out and basically refreshing the tallow every time it's supposed to be refreshed with using fresh whatever tallow, wings would be like $13 a wing. We'd be paying $100 a plate for wings or whatever, right? It would be crazy. And I just wonder, like, how nitpicky do we get? It's like the rotisserie chickens at Costco. Are they the cleanest? No. Are the chickens the best pasture raised, antibiotic free, all that? No. But they're $5. And it being a chicken is going to be a good source of protein for a family that is spending $5 for a whole chicken, or they're spending $20 for 2 chickens that they have to take home and cook. And people don't have time. And it's either like you can get a rotisserie chicken for $5 or maybe a big bag of chicken nuggets for $20 or whatever the case is. What do you want your kids having? I mean, my thing is we're getting to the point where we're so nitpicky that companies are going to be like, well, we're not even listening to you anymore. You want a tallow? We have tallow. Same thing. Do you think that Steak and Shake on March 1st, when they implement the tallow, that's going to be the cleanest single source, grass-fed, free-range, antibiotic-free beef tallow? No, it's probably going to be the exact same brand that Buffalo Wild Wings is using. But is it better than the seed oils? I would. And again, it comes down to how do we get people on board without being crazy, without sounding insane? Oh, they're using beef tallow, but it's not the best beef tallow, so I'm not going to eat there still. Then what do you want? And I understand that kind of content has a place because I think people should know that it's not the best. I suspected it probably wasn't the best, but I also kind of didn't want to know because I'm like, well, I only go there a couple times a year. We go and see a movie, go to B-Dubs or go to B-Dubs and go to a movie. I mean, really, what do you want? I'm just curious as to what we actually need and want from this community. So like, yeah. Let's see. Looks like Scott is in the house. I'm going to find my mouse here. Scott's in the house. Sharon's in the house. Sharon Holloway, good morning. Scott's in the house. Platte River Keto. Karen says that she is currently hooked on the Three Musketeers series on Disney Hulu. I'm not sure what that is. I haven't had a chance to watch it. So much stuff I cannot watch. Yeah, Evelyn says, yes, support it. It's better than not tallow, right? And so Evelyn's asking questions. No, Evelyn, the video we're talking about was a 17-minute hit piece calling Chris crazy or whatever because he made carnivore chips, asking, well, why don't, basically the gist of that video was the person saying, well, why don't just eat regular potato chips cooked in tallow? Would be better than making, fake chips out of this stuff. And I'm thinking to myself, what Chris is doing is trying to help a community or help people get into a community that may help save their life. The carnivore chips he's making, are they perfectly carnivore? Are they the cleanest carnivore? No. Are they about as close as you can get? Yes. Is it like a way to get someone involved in a community that they probably had no desire to join because they're like, well, what about my snack foods? What about, how am I going to do this if I can't do it? And it's easy for these creators, even the not insane creators, to go, beef and salt, all you need, beef, salt, and water. Okay, well, that works well for you, but that's not going to work for the 8 billion other people who are sick, suffering, and need an escape and need a better diet. How do we get there? With people like Chris. Chris taking his time, putting all the effort into making this content that is bar none amazing. He's putting himself out there, putting the work in to grow a community to get kind of shit on by somebody who thinks they know better. Now, if you are somebody who is, lion diet carnivore and you just scroll on past Chris. But you can't underestimate the power of a recipe like Chris's recipes because they're bringing people to the carnivore diet that may not even have understood what it was or thought it was crazy. Now it's in their view and they may take it a little more seriously. Now it might be a little more sustainable for somebody. Just like if you tell people to avoid the Costco rotisserie chickens because it's not perfect. Well, then you may be taking that food out of somebody's hands, and we know chicken isn't the best, and that's okay. And I just froze. That's cool. That's all right. Anyway, I'll do this here real quick, and hopefully I'll come back and it won't be, But I mean, just the idea that everything has to be 100% exactly the way you think it should be for every single person on the planet is going to get us to where we're not helping anybody. And let's see. Oh yeah. That What I've learned is a good video. I think it asks a lot of questions. It's kind of looking at carnivore from an outside perspective. Nope, still frozen. I just think that I think that it's a good video. I think it's a good way to kind of get people involved. With 500,000 views, that's 500,000 eyeballs that may or may not already knew about carnivore. I mean, they're talking with Jordan Peterson, Michaela Peterson. They're talking with, there's like Larry's in there. A bunch of different carnivore people are involved in there. I'm sure Dr. Barry was in there. I can't remember for sure, but I'm sure Chris had that little clip in there. Just talking with all kinds of people and kind of looking at it and looking at studies that have been done across the board over the last 100 years and how, and then we it's just one of those things. I just think we should be promoting the positive things and not being so willing to go and talk bad about things like about the tallow that BW uses. Should we acknowledge it? I mean, we should know. We should automatically just kind of know that a company is going to use the lowest quality of whatever they can and get away with it. Does that make it bad? I mean, maybe, but it's still better than seed oils. And eventually, maybe there'll be better products come along and cheaper. And the more companies that start utilizing seed oils, the better products will come out. Maybe the price will go down. I don't know. Scott says it's an unfortunate byproduct of a community. Some people are always wanting it to be better. And I understand wanting it to be better. I understand all of us wanting to do better, be more consistent, be more helpful, be more mindful, be more understanding, be more vigilant looking at labels. But at the same time, I think when we start focusing on the negative and we start telling people to avoid like Costco rotisserie chickens or not go to B-Dubs because it's not the cleanest tallow. And there are people that may need to avoid those things. It's like, the maltodextrin element. For 99% of the population, it's probably not even going to be an issue for them. They probably don't even care. Most people don't care. But those of us who do, now we're mindful and we know the truth. So then we have to take that information and utilize it as we will. Some people are going to understand and know that information and continue using the product. Some people are going to throw their stuff down the garbage and not even use it again. Some people like us, well, I may not purchase their stuff anymore, but doesn't mean I'm going to throw away my supply. You have to take what information you have and make the best choices you can with that information. Like on my TikTok before it got closed down, somebody was looking at my my chili recipe or whatever, like a beef soup recipe or beef whatever it is, right? And they're asking why tube meat. I was like, well, realistically, tube meat at Walmart says beef on it, from what I understand. At least it used to. And their open packages, their fresh beef is beef and natural flavor. So take that with what you will. Do they use the pink slime? I don't know. Maybe. Is that worse than the natural flavors? I don't know. But you have to take the little bit of information you have and go with it. And you're looking at not just information, you're looking at ingredients and how that impacts you along with the cost. Because prices only go up. People are paying $4.50 plus for a dozen eggs for the cheapest common denominator eggs from Aldi. That's expensive. That's hard to live with. Beef prices are going up. Egg prices are going up. Everything that we utilize on a daily basis is going up. So how can we continue doing what we do affordably, realistically? Because, yeah, sure, we would all love to go out and buy our own special grass-fed, grass-finished cow and fill our freezers full and not have to go to the grocery store. But that's not realistic for most people. So while I understand these channels, because I put information out there as well that might be considered negative, but I try to do it in a way that's informative. And I'm sure I fail with that. I'm sure my opinion comes in there and all whatever, right? I don't know. I just kind of think that, while we understand that, like I said, what the thing that got me on this rant to begin with was the fact that B-Dubs uses a low quality beef tallow, but they're still utilizing beef tallow. So I still think it's a win, even if it's not perfect, because consistency over perfection, we're never going to find perfect. If perfect is all you care about, you're never going to get there. Yeah, Chris says, "Oh, you're fine." Yes, the What I've Learned video is great. Yeah, it's a great little video. Oliver K had to go. Well, thank you for being here, dear. Hope you have a good rest of your day and be safe. Sean says, if we're picky like that, we would have fasted the entire week at Disney. You will never be able to eat a meal out if you're too picky about what ingredients they use. Yes. And if you are so picky, you won't when I go to Disney, I'm going to have a Dole Whip or I'm going to have whatever when I go to Disney, because I don't go to Disney all the time. I go every couple of years. Anybody that calls Chris crazy is not on my watch list. Yeah, this person is certifiable. But anyway, let's see. Sharon says, I have a dehydrator on my Amazon list now. Chris has me wanting to try more recipes. If I start wanting to get a dehydrator, I'm going to end up find a new place to live. I'm backed up on content again. Or on comments here. Let's see. Yep, 100% JJ. Dustin is preaching. Oh, let's see. Yeah. I didn't even comment on that video. I wanted to. There was so much that I wanted to say, but I didn't think it would do any good. Because it seemed like a lot of people that were commenting were along the lines of the same people making the video. So I was just like, yeah, I'm not gonna go down that rabbit hole. And Sharon says, I'm not 100% carnivore, but before my surgery last week, it did help me get ready for the healing process. Yeah. And how are you doing, Sharon? You doing okay? Chris says, me too, JJ. At some point, someone has to push back and help people who are lost and getting beat up, feel worthless. And hopefully that's what we're doing here. I felt lost and hopeless and just resigned to the fate that my mother had. And I think that hopefully us sharing our stories, us being vulnerable and real here, can help people. Embracing our own struggles, embracing everything that we deal with, because none of us are perfect. We're all kind of taking this by the seat of our pants. And we're doing everything we can. It takes a village. It really does. It takes all of us. It takes keto, carnivore, lion diet, ketovore people. It takes everybody to kind of get this together, but because some people need different things. And I don't think any one of them is the best for the whole time. I don't think anyone is best for everybody. And even if something like, strict lion diet is what you need to get through some autoimmune issues, doesn't mean that's going to be how you live the rest of your life. Maybe a loose carnivore, maybe a ketovore at that point. You just kind of have to find what works for you and what's sustainable. JJ says, I could see myself going 100% carnivore, but I'd miss keto chow. I love how Chris Cook in Nashville lets you know how to do these recipes that fit your needs. Yeah. Inclusivity is huge. Sharon says, she's doing well, just slow for now. Well, that's okay. I'm slow all the time. Cindy says, same here, won't go carnivore because keto chow, keto is. I like broccoli. Do I eat it all the time? No, there's times where I go like a whole week and eat broccoli every day. Then I go a month or two without having any. I feel really good eating just beef and eggs. But that's not a sustainable lifestyle for me, and I understand that. Even if I do feel super good on that, I know it's not going to be sustainable. I'm going to want some chicken sometimes. I'm going to want some broccoli, some Brussels sprouts. I'm going to want some keto chow. I'm going to want to go out to dinner, and I want to, and I'm going to have things when we go on vacation. And that's why I'm a big, that's why you'll always hear consistency over perfection. You have to find what works for you. How do you get to be the most consistent version of yourself? By understanding who you are. Some people can go strict carnivore and go 7 years and never have a cheat meal or even think about doing something, That's fine, but that's not everybody. And expecting everyone to live like you do isn't going to do it. It doesn't do anybody any favors. And I can't hold myself to your standards, and I don't expect anybody to hold themselves to my standards. What works for me may not work for you, and that's okay. But this community that we're building is one of understanding and compassion, tolerance, and we're all trying to work together to be successful, to help as many of the people on this planet as we can. That's why, it's cool. I don't even know. I just feel, like, ugh. Andy says, JJ, me too, doing triple B&E. I'm sitting it what happens when I eat certain food and my hip hurts or my foot starts aching. Let's see. Scott says, please don't misunderstand me when I put better in quotes. It's because I don't actually think that the better people are going or is actually better. Sometimes it's just crazy. I think that there's a lot of people out there who mean well. Most of the atrocities in this world have been done with good intentions. Misguided, but good intentions. We have to understand that good intentions aren't always the best for people. I have the best intentions, but I'm flawed. And I have to understand that my best intentions may not be good for somebody. That's why I try not to give any advice. I'm not here to give advice. I'm here to tell people what worked for me. Now, is that going to work for you? I don't know, maybe. But you have to try it and see. And what's better for me is not going to necessarily be better for you. You may need lion diet. You may need strict carnivore. You may have issues where if you eat anything with a sweetener in it, that you relapse and you go down, and you're back at Burger King drinking milkshakes or whatever. I get it. You have to do what you have to do. And what works for you is what you need to do. And Cindy says, we're glad you're doing okay. Slow and steady wins the race. Yeah, 100%. I'm so glad you're doing good, Sharon. Stacy is awake and alive, starting first cup of coffee. We are watching you on Rewind on the TV. Well, thank you for being here. I hope you and Ken are doing well. Glad to see you. Excited to see you again sometime soon, I hope. And Amy says, JJ, yes to Chris. So excited to make his fritters. I need to watch that video. I haven't had a chance to watch that video yet. Let's see. Cindy's asking how Ken and Stacy are doing. Let's see. Chris says, I had someone comment on our recipe video saying, if you're going to do recipes and crave carbs, you might as well not even be carnivore. So if it's not clean enough, you don't deserve it. That outlook just doesn't help people. And I don't think people understand that. I think that's where, if it were my channel, I would be like, well, I mean, then that's not helping. That's not helping us. If I could talk, that outlook doesn't help people. And yes, for you, maybe doing strict carnivore is what you need to do. But there's a lot of people out there that aren't going to even consider trying carnivore, trying to better themselves until they find Chris. They find his recipes and they're like, oh, I can eat better and it's going to taste better and it's going to be these things that I can have and still be considered carnivore. Now, I mean, and Chris is a loose carnivore. I mean, then that's no secret. He does keto and carnivore recipes. And he talks about that openly. I mean, because if you're a straight carnivore, you're just meat, salt, eggs, whatever. Some people don't even think eggs are carnivore. Sean Baker didn't even eat eggs for a long time. I think he does now. But he was just eating steak every day. And I mean, that's fine if you can afford to eat tomahawk steaks and big old thick. You're eating 4 or 5 pounds of ribeye a day. That's a lot of money. That's like $100 plus a day. Just for if you're eating 4 pounds of ribeyes a day and you're paying $15 a pound, that's $60 a day just for you in ribeye. The average person cannot afford that. That's crazy. But it works for him. He has the money. Or he's sponsored. He gets whatever. That's fine. You can do what you need to do. Karen says $7.57 for 18 count of extra large eggs here. Normally was $4.56. Had to take out a loan. I mean, 5 dozen eggs at Walmart, even during the pandemic, was $3.12. So as of 2020, 2021, they were $3 for 5 dozen. And I remember they went to $8 and I was like, oh my God, that's so much money. $8 for 5 dozen eggs. Are you crazy? Now it's $22 for 5 dozen eggs in Indiana. Yeah, and I understand that people are getting theirs from their local sources. If you can, find a local source to get your eggs and hopefully save some money. Do what you can. I almost would wish there was an app to help you find locally sourced eggs and not get ripped off. Stacy says that we're on the mend. I'm very happy for that. JJ says, I've been doing triple B&E since the day after Christmas, which means I'm developing a list of Chris Cookin' Nashville recipes for February. Definitely having Taco Tuesday. Fantastic. Chris is he's asking Chris if you have a churro recipe. Barbara says the only thing crazy about Chris is it's crazy good. I agree. Chris is telling JJ that he doesn't have a churro recipe yet, but he's working on it. We're doing the funnel cake recipe for my birthday in February. That sounds fun. Hope you enjoy it, says Chris. Sean says, need to have a soundbite board with a hallelujah chorus when Dustin starts preaching. Yeah. The difference is, do want to help people or do want to be a douche? I think people are those, but they think they're helping people. So often it's like the people who go, why are you still fat? If you're carnivore, why are you still fat? You're keto and you're still fat? I thought keto made you skinny. Quotes and all these things, you know what I'm saying? I mean, these are questions that I've been asked. Chris has been asked these questions. Fried chocolate pies. What I hear is Chris is working on fair foods, funnel cakes, fritters, churros, elephant ears. Karen says, I float between ketovore and carnivore. I like pickles once in a while and sugar-free ketchup once in a while. Evelyn, Chris is going to master a corn dog that meets Dustin's standards. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. Evelyn is winking at Evelyn. All right. Chris, I want that quote on a t-shirt, size extra large, please. Hey, Sharon, what do you think? Yeah. T-shirts. They're awesome. Yeah, Sharon likes vegetables. I like I mean, I just really enjoy broccoli. I like broccoli cheddar soup. You know, I also like meat chili with nothing else in it. I mean, I just like it. I like what I like. And if having some broccoli every once in a while keeps me on track, so what? Oh, Sharon's asking Sean, what do we need on a shirt? Evelyn says, do you want to help people or do you want to be a douche? Yes. Yes. There's an app called Farmish. Evelyn likes spinach artichoke dip. Yeah, I mean, I like pork rinds with French onion dip. I do get the daisy. The daisy stuff is pretty clean. It's about as clean as you can get without making yourself, and I don't care to make it myself. Because I think once you start getting stuff, then it's like, who knows what the maltodextrin and all that stuff is in there. You know, it's just how do you be as clean as you can? Just be as clean as you can. I think being as clean as you can afford is the most important thing you can do. You saw or you heard? You heard my Freudian slip about dip? I wasn't going to outline that I said it, Evelyn. I didn't know if anybody would notice, but obviously they did. Sharon says, I go Thursday for my follow-up. I'll know how soon I can get back to working. I can work on the shirt after that. Cindy for $5 super chat. Gotta run. Thank you, Dustin. You're so very welcome, Cindy. And again, anything you ever need, don't hesitate to ask Cindy. I got you whatever you need. You know, I'll take care of you. Oh, my goodness, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen. You guys are awesome. Who makes Sundays the best days? Every Sunday I get up and I'm like, oh, how am I going to make it through this Sunday? How am I going to do this? And I get excited. I'm excited, right? But at the same time, I'm like, how am I going to come up with 3 hours, 2 hours with the stuff to talk about? And I'm sitting here talking, and like the first hour kind of creeps by, and I'm like, oh, I don't know if I'm going to make it that far. And then I notice it's like we're out 2 hours and 25 minutes in right now. Yeah. Becky says, I get pork rinds from Aldi when I can find them. Most of the time, there's only flavored ones left. I never get those from Aldi. I don't know. I've never tried them. I don't know if they're any good or not. Thank you, everyone. Oh, my goodness, boys and girls. Sometimes I worry my coffee's not going to last long enough, and I'm going to be like talking without coffee. I've got a couple bottles of water behind me, just in case, you know. Chris says, I can wax poetic and talk at length, so I'll keep going I'll keep you going, no problem. I'm the same way, but I mean, I can talk about stuff that people don't even know about. Like I can sit here, like the other day, I put on a White Zombie record that I haven't listened to in a long time. It's one that came out in 1996, Astro Creep 2000, and it's a solid record from beginning to end. And it was kind of like I mean, they only put out 2 real full length records, White Zombie, before they broke up and became White Zombie, or Rob Zombie went solo. And I've never been a big fan of Rob Zombie's solo stuff. You know, the White Zombie stuff is my favorite. But that I can sit here and just talk about stuff like that, or like we could talk tech. I could talk, YouTube. We could talk, video editing and all that stuff. Like, you know, I just want to talk about what keeps you guys here, what keeps you entertained, what do you care to listen to, what's going to keep you coming back, what do you want to talk about, you know? I am super bummed I never got to see White Zombie, but they did play like 96 or 97. They played here and they played with Pantera and a couple other bands and I wanted to go so bad. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I never really liked I never liked I mean I only saw Rob Zombie one time and it was a solo stuff. I follow Sean Solt on socials. She's awesome. She always posts old photos of the band together and stuff. And I just wish I could see White Zombie play back in the day. I don't think it wouldn't be good now because none of them are on good terms. At least like Sean and JJ and Mike and them, I think are good, but I don't think Rob's on good terms with anybody because he's such kind of a tool bag, and that bothers me too. It's like how are you gonna be like that? I don't get it. The Astro Creep 2000. I actually had 2 copies of it. I had a copy in my Discman. My Discman got stolen during summer school, in high school, and that was my disc that was in there. Then I had to go try to find a new copy of it. But yeah. And I've been watching a lot of Northern Exposure, and they play a lot of Dwight Yoakam. And I know I made a post the other day on Facebook, and that Dwight Yoakam's got a lot of bangers. But there's just something about that Guitars and Cadillacs song that's just like such a good song. Amy, a new member, thank you so very much for joining us. I appreciate you so very much. I will get your name added to the list, so you will be in next week's why can't I think of the word? Credits. So at the end of our lives, the end of my Sunday and Tuesday live, I have any new members, anybody who donates memberships in the credits, because why not celebrate you guys? You guys are what helped me keep going. You guys are here supporting me. I want to make sure that you get some support as well. People can see that you are a supporter of this channel, and seeing your name at the credits is pretty awesome. I think I would like to see that. So I will continue to do that. So usually when this stream is over, I get to work getting that updated, edited, removing names, adding names, so that next week, starting Tuesday, you can see your name, if you're a member, in the credits. Because I appreciate each and every one of you. So yeah, last week, Bruce donated 10 memberships, and before that, Just Jason Keto had donated some memberships, and so I had their names up there respectively. So just be on the lookout for your names in those, and as long as you remain a member, you'll be in the credits, because I truly appreciate the support. It means the absolute world to me, because without you guys, it makes it so much harder to create content and to stay afloat, because everything that we do costs money here. And I do appreciate each and every one of you. And thanks to Evelyn and Sean for welcoming Amy with open arms. Truly appreciate that very much. Amy says, I just got my YouTube fixed, so it wasn't going to work. Now I can support the channels I appreciate with their help and friendship. Well, fantastic. I appreciate that very much. I truly, truly do. I'm about out of coffee. Sad day indeed. Now, one thing I want to talk about with like the Steak and Shake doing beef tallow and such, people are like, oh yeah, but that doesn't do anything for us because they're going to be frying French fries in that tallow. They're not going to be cooking anything that we can eat. And I understand that, but I think it's still a win, because if you can get something even 1%, 2% healthier than you were before, Even if you're eating French fries fried in tallow, you're still eating the carbohydrates, but at least you're not pairing that carbohydrates with the seed oils. And I think that's so very important. We have to look at each little win as a win, even though it's not something for us. It may not be necessarily a win that directly impacts us, but it's the beginning. And the beginning hopefully means that if they start removing the seed oils from the fryers and all those, and they'll start removing them more and more systematically from all the places that they are right now. You can't walk down a condiment aisle at the grocery store and not be bombarded with gallons and gallons and gallons of seed oils. Seed oils and everything on that aisle, and it's seed oils and everything in all these aisles. Seed oils hidden everywhere. Evelyn says, I've been hung up on watching just Jason's Keto's truffle videos. He's got a lot. That guy's hitting them hard. He's got some awesome recipes. Super awesome recipes. And Chris basically encapsulates everything that I think. Everything we do as creators is about the people we do it for, and it's possible because of their support, 1000%. And even like the support that I get from Chris. You know, like when Chris started coming into my Sunday lives before we really got a chance to know each other, just someone like Chris coming into my live on a Sunday morning, that was huge, because here comes somebody that I was looking up to. Sorry, he just kind of came out of nowhere. He just popped up on my radar one day making these awesome videos, and all these other creators were making his recipes. I didn't know who he was. And he starts coming in and hanging out and being here. And that means the absolute world to me too. That's just one of those things, like what I try to do. I try to come into lives and celebrate the smaller channels and bigger channels, and try to do super chats and stuff, because every little bit of that support helps. And if you're a channel that can, you can get a super chat, I'm going to give you one. Hopefully I can maintain that. And because I want to support you, I want to make sure that you know that I'm watching. I want to know that I want you to know that I am here standing with you. Whether you have 2 subscribers or 5 million subscribers, I don't care. We're all in this together. So if you have a channel and you go live, I try to jump in, even for just a few minutes, and say, hey, doing great, talk for a little bit. I may not be able to stay long because there's a lot of lives every week, but I try to go in and jump in and say, hey, because I know how much it means when somebody bigger comes in, like when Chris comes in, or when 2KK jumps in and they come in and say hi on a live. You know what I mean? It's a whole big boost to your morale as a creator when somebody that comes in and says, hey. It's so big. It's such a huge thing. So you guys being here, being members, super chats, supporting each other, it's what really is going to make a difference in the long run with our health, our community, the world as a whole. We've got a lot of work to do. There's 8 billion people on this planet, give or take. And we've got a lot of work to do to hopefully make as many of them as healthy as we can. And it starts with us. It starts with being in these chats. It starts with supporting your friends. That's where it is, Chris says the tallow thing is like this. I don't throw away a car that's better than the one you have because it isn't a Rolls Royce. Enjoy the small upgrade. Yes. Let's see. Andy says Susan can have a conversation with a rock, whereas I need some conversation starters. I hate dead space. And yesterday's live had that. Some days are great, others are pulling teeth. And you're going to have that. When I first started, I didn't have people chatting the entire time. I would just talk. And, I still feel bad that I missed your live yesterday, but I was tired. I went back to bed. I knew it was at 9:00, and I thought about it, and I was like, I laid down, and because Shander leaves at 6:30-ish. And, we talked for a few minutes on text while she was driving. She just voiced the text, tell me about the drive and all that. And And then by the time she got to work, I was like, okay. And then I just closed my eyes and it was still dark and I fell asleep and then I didn't wake up till much later. So I'll have to go and put yours on replay to give you those hours for you. Yeah. Chris says, "You're a good man, brother. Glad we can do this together. I love you big time." Yeah, 100,000%. The love, the support, it goes a long way because if, as a creator, even myself, like there's times that I get in my own head and I think, I'm not good enough. I'm not, the content that I put out isn't good enough. People aren't going to watch it. And I need a kick in the pants, you know what I mean? And you guys coming here and supporting me is that what I need. I've got videos that I want to make. It's just sometimes I get in my own way. Aaron says, "Oh, I need to get an awesome chaffle recipe. I need to change it up, finding it myself. I need variety." I mean, Chris has got a great chaffle recipe that's carnivore. Jason has a plethora of amazing flavors, not necessarily carnivore. But check them out. Check them both out. I think they could probably be mixed. You could probably add all kinds of cool flavors to Chris's, and they'd be amazing. Somebody says, "I appreciate you stopping by the lives and videos." 1,000%. I try to stop by as often as I can. Andy says, I miss good fried chicken. Sometimes I just want good like chicken tenders. You know what I mean? Like good crispy like KFC chicken tenders. Sometimes, you know. Becky says, "I love watching Chris's cooking videos. He makes them look so easy." Yeah. Like deceptively easy. Oh, yeah. So he's basically telling Becky that she's so sweet, a pleasure and honor. 1,000%. Chris says, "The dead space in lives is why I started mine by cooking. I had no idea what I would talk about, and no one was talking in the comments, so I cooked instead." Yeah. And Becky says, "Keep talking." I don't talk much. I'm listening most of the time. Well, I appreciate that. And like when I started this live, I started going Sundays. I was like, and I know I've talked about this before, but Shane leaves for work at like 6:15, 6:30 in the morning, and I would sit and have my coffee and just watch YouTube. I was like, well, what if I started going live? I need to go live more. What if I go live at like 7:30 in the morning on a Sunday? And people were like, and I asked people, and no, I didn't really get much of a response. I started doing it, and it's been over a year. So, Amy says, "Evelyn, you are awesome. Just going to ask for Jason's channel." Sonny goes, "Did you already talk about TikTok ban?" Yes. So TikTok and CapCut, I know you mentioned that down below, are gone. I'm not sure how CapCut was involved with TikTok, so I'm not really sure about that. But I think it's one of those things. I mean, and Sonny, I don't know how you utilize and what you use to edit your videos, but I know Daniel Patel. If anybody uses Resolve, he had a live today, may still be going, showing people how to use Resolve to edit like CapCut. So be on the lookout for that. That could help and how to, edit stuff. I just found out that my favorite editing app, CapCut, is now unavailable. I knew they were the same company. I didn't know they were the same company. TikTok. The ban was just for TikTok. I hope you didn't already talk about that. I didn't realize they were the same company. That's why I wasn't sure. It's frustrating because I think it sets a bad precedent. I don't think they're telling us the whole truth. I mean, not like anything that happens with anything in this country or any country for that matter. We don't think we ever get the whole truth. So yeah. So I guess we'll find out because I know that Mr. Beast and Kick, the guy who owns Kick, we're looking at maybe buying those. So I imagine CapCut's got to be profitable. It's AI generated video editing, so I mean it's got to be profitable. And Becky says, "Most of the time I don't have time to make chicken tenders. I just put some salt on chicken wings and throw them in the air fryer for 30 minutes." That sounds good too. Yeah, CapCut is down for now. The days will we'll see what happens. I mean, yeah. Let's see. Ash just realized CapCut is down too. Maybe Dustin and I could do a video on Resolve for the keto and carnivore creators. It's free and it's great. Yeah, I'd be interested in doing that. Um, yeah, because I mean it's free, and even if you do purchase it, it's $300 one time, and they're always adding amazing updates. I mean, especially with the difference between 18 and 19 was huge. Like my computer was struggling with 18, and it flies now with 19. So I mean, they really are working and making it better all the time, and they're adding in cool features. They're doing in cool stuff um, like caption, automatic caption generation. You can edit by caption. You can edit by words, and it's pretty cool stuff. Yeah, CapCut is owned by TikTok, and it's gone unless they can renegotiate. Yeah, that's weird. Emeril Lagasse started doing his BAM thing because the camera operators were falling asleep during his cooking show. Dead space happens. Most of us will start talking and help you out. Yeah. Yeah, I'd love to watch that DaVinci Resolve. Yeah. Sounds like Dustin and I don't even need to do Resolve. There we go. And I thought that CapCut was kind of expensive. How much were you guys paying to use CapCut? Because I used it a couple times free just to show me what it would do, and I was never very satisfied with what it gave me. And maybe I wasn't feeding it the best content. I was just putting in like long form, like interviews and stuff, and I thought it would be better than it was, but it just didn't give me what I wanted. So I don't know what you guys were paying for, what you were paying for. And I like making my own shorts. I like making mine and doing like, and doing the transitions. And I put a short up yesterday. It's like 6 seconds long. It's a little funny short, but let's see. Chris says, I will say when if CapCut comes back, Resolve is a huge upgrade and a better long run choice, I think. I think so too. Yeah, we'll have to do that. We'll do that for sure. Let's see. I agree, Chris. I would really like to learn how to do Resolve. It just looks so complicated for me. And I mean, it is computer based. I know, like you can. I think they have an iPad app now, but I don't know how well it works. I don't have an iPad, so $11 a month. How much were you able to edit with that amount? Because I thought it was like so many hours of editing. I don't know. Like, did you get enough out of that $11 a month? Chris says, totally understand. It looks tough, but if someone explains it, I find it easy. You just have to know where the stuff is. Dustin and I could do that easily. Yeah, it's all I use now. It's what I use too, and I've used it since. I mean, I started off with Vlog Now, an Android app is just VN Vlog Now, and utilized that for a couple of weeks until I got myself set up with DaVinci Resolve, and um, once I used Vlog Now first, it really opened up and made DaVinci Resolve seem easier. I also do all of Ash's music videos, so I've gotten really proficient. Let's see. Let's see. iPad is pretty good overall. Jeremiah is here. Good morning, my friend. I mentioned you earlier in the chat, but I can't remember. Oh, I mentioned you earlier in the chat or in the stream because of the thing you shared with me from Facebook. Here in Indiana, there was somebody saying that they would give you eggs and honey and all these things, and they would deliver it to you, just pay them up front. And I was like, that's a scam. It was too good to be true. They were like wanting $20 for a gallon of honey. I don't think that's a thing. That's just too much, too cheap. It was too good to be true. Probably is. And I would be like, if I had to come get it, I understand. But you're gonna charge me not very much and deliver it to me? No. Chris says CapCut charge based on function instead of editing hours, I believe. DaVinci has more for free. Yeah. So let's see. CapCut, let's see. I never got blocked for editing. So I thought CapCut was where you just took like a link to a video and put it in and it would email you later when it was done editing your video and it would make shorts at a long form video. That's all I ever saw it do. I don't know if there's anything else. Evelyn says, am I missing anybody's channel from this chat? Please go subscribe and support our friends. Yes. Please support everybody. And if you find channels that we don't know about, let us know. Hype them up. There's always new channels coming. There's always new channels out there. There's always people. There's always new things coming and people doing great things. And it's impossible to keep up with them all. But yeah. But with that, I think it's time to say goodbye. It's been a lovely time. Almost 3 hours, but I'm out of coffee. And let's see here. Sunny says, I edited my long form videos and would automatically create a short out of the video. I always canceled the short creation, though. Bodies channel? Oh, there's a lot of stuff on YouTube that you can find if you dig hard enough. I mean, don't ask me how I know. Oh no! That's what I hear when you said that. Oh my goodness gracious, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, you guys have been fantastically amazing. Thank you so much to Amy for becoming a member. I appreciate that very much. Thank you for Cindy for her $5 super chat, and thank you so much to Stephanie Exposing Darkness for her $5 super chat. Truly, truly amazing. I'm super excited and glad to have you all in my life. Oh, you guys are amazing. Thank you all so very much. Don't forget to check out everybody that was in the chat today. Support all those channels. Don't forget to go to KetoSimple.shop and see if there's any way that you would like to support this channel outside of becoming a member or super chats and things like that. Let's see. But did I update my new thing here? Let's see. Anyway, thank you all so very much for being here. Here's the outro. Thank you all so very much. I love your faces and have a great day.